YouTube, how are we doing? Back again with another video, and apologies, elephant in the room. Yes, I haven't uploaded for like 4 weeks. Yeah, simply put, I haven't really got an excuse for it. I just didn't get in the groove of it. So we are back again, trying to get some momentum going and then showcase to you my contest season in 2026. So now you are watching this on the 13th of June. I am officially 12 weeks out from, 12 weeks out tomorrow from the first show of the season. So it's exciting. There hasn't been too much that has changed during this period. The only changes I had, which has recently been updated, which was on Tuesday, is my cardio has now been pulled back. So for this week, I actually had a D output week. So essentially what that means is I'm pulling back from cardio overall expenditure because my legs needed to freshen up. So that is allowing me to drop off like the additional fatigue that my body and my legs were feeling because they were feeling draggy. And it allows me to then be fresher going into the next sort of stint of fat loss. So from Monday, the updates are going to be 7 lots of cardio at 20 minutes. And then my training days are still going to remain at 2,665 calories, 240 grams of protein, 325 grams of carbs, and 45 fats with 5 litres of water and 10 grams of salt. On my non-training days, it is 2,310 calories, 240 grams of protein, 225 grams of carbs, 50 fat, same again, 5 litres of water and 10 grams of salt. So food is in a decent spot. Of course, I am getting hungry. We're in prep. We are dieting. I always say this. For instance, if you are a boxer and you do it for a living, you're going to get punched in the face. It's the same way of dieting. You got to expect to get hungry, right? So in this video, what I'm going to go through today is a push day and how that is set up for me right now in my contest season. The volume, the exercise selection, why I do certain exercises, and give you some pointers as I go along. So with this, I'm going to put it all on the screen for you. What are you doing? I've just got a cat just abusing me right now. If you could see this, if I can angle it down, absolute abuse. So what I'm going to do is take you... Honestly, you need to stop. You're mental. You are mental. Here she is. Miss Madam going crazy. So yeah, what I'm going to do is take you through the session, take you through a walkthrough, and then go over the bits and bobs. So hope you enjoy it. Here we go then, guys. Kicking off push day. Single arm cuff lateral raise. I always start with a lateral raise because it allows me to firstly warm up the shoulders. Second of all, just primes my upper body for any presses that are to come. So with a lateral raise, what I always think about doing here is dragging my fist along the floor. I find that the connection is way better this way. And if you haven't tried it like this, try it. Keep thinking, drag basically your fist along the floor and then slowly almost like scoop your arm up while keeping a contraction through your core as well. And then keep yourself in a fixed position. Always at the top as well, add a slight pause and then control the eccentric as well. So with this set, I always aim for anywhere between 8 to 15. I think here it was around the 10 to 12 mark, but always end up with a minimum of an 8. Anything less than an 8, I just find that it's not the most productive and it's not very comfortable in the joints as well. So this would be 2 sets, anywhere between 8 to 15. So now my shoulders are ready to go. What I will do before I go into any form of pressing is do some form of pec fly. And the reason for this, it just allows me to connect with my chest as soon as I go into a compound movement. I never used to do this. I would say for the last 12 to 18 months, I've always put some form of fly movement there. And simply, if I've got blood in my chest, I can go straight onto a flat press movement and connect with it from rep 1, rather than trying to get the rhythm with my warm-up sets and then going into my top set. I don't really have to do that. I can just think about the movement, get the movement pattern locked, and then straight away everything is firing on all cylinders. So if you are someone who is struggling to connect with their chest like I have been doing for the years, then try doing just a light set anywhere between 10 to 20 reps, to be honest. Get blood there, and then you'll find that your pressing movements are a lot better. Going on to the first compound lift of the day, it is a flat press. What's super annoying about this, my storage on my phone ran out, so you're going to see it in a minute. This is my top set, get myself in the right headspace for it, because I'm just telling myself, you will not drop a rep on this set. That's literally what I just repeat. I pretty much say to myself every single day, do not let your performance slip. Despite being in a deficit, do not let it slip. So that is on repeat in my head. It's really annoying because you're going to see in a second, I've done a couple of reps, and then the full storage sign came up. Yeah, that is a bane of my life at the minute. I feel like I'm deleting everything non-stop, and yeah, it's not ideal. So yeah, do one rep here, did move a little bit slower, but then I start to get in the groove, and then yeah, it just stops right about now, and that was that. Right, now I'm going into my back off set. So after I spent about 10 minutes deleting 100 videos, I am now going on to my back off. So the first set would be anywhere between 6 to 9 reps. And then my second set would be anywhere between 10 to 14. At the minute, is hovering around the 10 rep mark, but that's absolutely fine. I'm just trying to hold on to my performance as much as possible. If I drop below 10, then that means the weight is too heavy for me now. But like I said before, just keep saying to yourself, your performance is not going to slip. And funnily enough, it doesn't. One cue I would say with this is think about tucking your elbows in. I see it a fair bit where you're getting shoulder pains or elbow pains is simply because you're flaring your elbows too wide, and then you're putting a lot of emphasis on the front delt. Yes, your front delt is always going to be working with a flat press. However, if you want to bias your chest, just tuck your elbows in slightly more, and then drive your elbows into the center of your sort of midline of your chest, and you'll find the engagement is a lot better that way. So now you're going to see myself go on to a different movement here, which this is going to be funny for most people looking at this. So I'm going to explain why I do it this way. So I called over my lovely assistant, Kate, on this one. So I have been sort of struggling with sort of shoulder niggles for the last, it was coming up to a year in August, where it's almost like a shoulder tendonitis sort of pain. And it's basically to do with my bicep tendon at the very front of my shoulder. So there's a lot of movements where it is a steep incline that I can't do. Dumbbells also don't feel very good. So what I've had to do here is basically get some cuffs and then do a low incline sort of press here, so I can actually get some upper pec work. And the best thing to do for this for myself is do it with a cuff. So I'm going to get all these science-based lifters saying, oh, you look like an idiot. I don't really care. I'm going to be real. I don't care. Do you know what? It works for me. What's optimal for me might not be optimal for you. And that's what you got to see in bodybuilding. There's not a right or wrong, or even muscle building. There is not a right or wrong in this game. I mean, the hardest part is getting out of it. But just do what works for you. And I have found doing this exercise over the last coming up to 12 months, I've actually seen a lot of improvement from my pecs because I've learned how to press properly. And what I mean by that is before I would bring my arms together. And when I say arms, more so my hands rather than my elbows. And now what I think about doing every time is drag my elbows into the center point of my chest and just think about how basically putting my elbows together rather than my fists is what you can see here. And straight away, the engagement from my upper pecs is 100% better than what it has been before. And it's a lot more evident in my chest. So try this movement, guys. That's what I would suggest. Try things out, see if they work for you. If they don't, then you can always go back to a dumbbell or a machine press. But yeah, don't knock it till you try it. Give it a go. And I always do 2 sets here. First set would be anywhere between 6 to 9. Second set would be anywhere between 10 to 15. But yeah, most things across the board are 2 sets because I don't need a lot of volume while I'm in my diet phase. The next exercise, I stay on the cable, but I just pop the incline up a little bit higher, and I do more so of a high incline cable fly. Same again, I'm just trying to angle it so I can get as much upper pec fibers as I can on this movement. Yet again, I'm a little bit sort of limited to what I can do. My shoulder does feel really good in this position, so I can do it. So I just try and rinse the upper pecs as much as I can. Same again, same cues. Just think about dragging your elbows into the center point of your chest rather than your fist. And I also do 2 sets on here, anywhere between 8 to 10 for the first. Same again, 10 to 14 on the back off. They're just rep ranges I find that are safe. There is still sort of a heavy rep range for me. And if I was to do lower rep volume and lower rep sets with this, it just wouldn't feel very good. So that is why I program it this way, and it feels really good. And if you've got yourself a Cybex, utilize the Cybex. It's so good because with a Cybex, you can change the angle of it, and it's not just straight up and down. You can change it, obviously, as you go around, it's numbered, and you can angle it slightly inwards rather than having a wide cable stack. It just aligns so nicely on the joints and feels 10-10. So once I finish up with this, I have got one juicy pump. So that is the chest portion of the movements done for today. Now I'm moving on to triceps. So I get the bench and I use a primal attachment here. The reason for that, it offers more stability and you are able just to engage your triceps a lot more just being in the most stable position. I don't feel like my core engages nowhere near as much, and I don't feel like my shoulders take over. So it allows me to pin my shoulders back, focus on the contraction at the bottom, and just get the most out of my triceps. So I do 3 sets here. I do 2 sets anywhere between a 6 to 9 rep range, and then I do a set of 12 to 15. So the last tricep movement of the day is the overhead single arm tricep extension. So if you do suffer with elbow pain, I would always recommend doing this movement second. When you've got blood across the tricep and the joint from a single arm push down or a straight bar push down, I always find that my joint pain doesn't get affected whatsoever, and I find that I could just do it pain free, to be honest. So do this single arm. It is a lot better for me. It's better for my joints. It's more comfortable. And I also think about dragging my sort of palm as far back as I can, so I get the extension through the elbow and then fully extend my arm as far as it can go as well. So I would do 2 sets there, anywhere between 10 to 15 reps. The last movement of the day is another lateral raise because I don't do any direct shoulder presses with this, and I do 3 sets. So I do 2 sets of anywhere from 8 to 10, and then my last set would be anywhere from basically 12 to 20. So you may have saw me at the very start here. I do grab 2 sort of wrist straps, and the reason for that is when I am clinching onto something, it does feel just way better. I can connect better. I don't feel it in sort of my elbows, and I can just really think about just driving my elbows out and connect with my shoulders rather than feeling like I'm connecting with the joints. So I'm just about to roll into my second set here, but this would be more of a higher rep set. But yeah, these are very good to program at the end. I can just absolutely blow out a high rep set and just leave the gym with a disgusting pump. So that was my push day sort of voiceover in terms of what I'm doing. Well, I'm 12 weeks out now, well, that was about 14 weeks out when I've done this. So I hope you liked it all. And if you can, please like, subscribe, and I'll bring you some more content with my next training sessions.